Good afternoon. So here is a quick training that I wanted to put together for you small business owners out there. Um, Basically, it's marketing your business online, building relationships, and I'm Stephanie DiGiano. Uh, so we have brought to you this training absolutely free, just to give you some of the information that, some people out there they share, some they don't, but we want to make sure that we are supporting small businesses in every aspect that we can possibly give you what you need for you and for your business because uh, this training is actually brought to you by Magnetic Lead Solutions, which also is partnered up with I Support Small Biz Magazine. And we are two small business owners that we have come together in partnership because we understand what it is when we say small businesses need support and we're there to support you. It's because we know the pitfalls that you go into as a small business owner. We know the amount of time that you put into it when you create your business, and you, especially for those that are getting started in their businesses and they're newcomers, we already know what you go through. We understand because we've been there. And over the years, working with small businesses, working with direct sales agents, um, internet marketers, we all share many of the same challenges. Sometimes it's dressed a little bit differently, but essentially it's the same things that we share. So, myself, I am a mother of five. I am a single mother of five, and I definitely get what it is to not only run a business, but also juggle and balance your personal life. It's hard enough being someone getting started into their own business, not having, children and spouses, single people. It's still a juggle for folks that don't have all of that added in, because it takes time. You got to still pay the bills, you got to still keep everything going, and at the same time you're now trying to figure out all of this stuff. You have this passion, you want to share it with the world, you want to show people what you have and you want to showcase it, but it's getting in front of people, it's learning all of the technical stuff, it's marketing both online and offline, which are very similar but then very different. And when you're trying to learn all of this and learn what your customers want and customer service so that you can keep people coming in and you can give them the value that they're looking for, it's a lot on your plate. We get it. And there's many small business owners that still do other stuff. They still do side jobs and part-time jobs. And I've been there. And when you're working for someone and you're running your business, it's a complete balancing act because of the fact that, you work for someone and they expect you to be totally 150% loyal to them and to their business and their dream. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, you're trying to build your legacy, right? So now, me being a mom, not only am I getting that, but I also get balancing out what your children need, and if you're married, what your spouse needs, and it's a lot. And sometimes you can find yourself alone and by yourself, or at least feel that way, because friends and family don't always get it. And when you first start out, you go through many failures, as do most of us, right? Because failures are really just stepping stones to where you're trying to get to. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, sometimes it doesn't even look that way, but I'm here to tell you, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll get to where you need to go. And this is why we feel so strongly about supporting small businesses. So, anyways, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I have put together this training for you, which is basically marketing your business online, building relationships. So, the first thing is we want to engage our following, right? We want to engage our audience. So, we want to be able to tear down those walls. And how do we do that? Well, today you really have to make your company indispensable, right? And as you can see here, successful businesses, they don't just communicate with customers for promotions, but they communicate overall, right? Because you want to make sure that your customers know, your prospects know that, hey, this is a reliable source to go to. They have it all, right? You know information. If you are a sandwich bag, um, you sell sandwich bags. Your audience is going to expect you to know everything that there is about sandwich bags. Is it safe? What do you make with it? How does it benefit me? They want to know these things, right? So, making your company indispensable is going to be a vital element to marketing success. It positions you so that you crush the competition by adding value, and at the same time, you're now enhancing your brand. And that's really key here because you want to grow, right? You have a dream. You want to take your company that may be just starting out, and you want to grow that. You may have a company that you've already been in business for a while. You've already established a lot of success with it, but you're ready to take it to the next level, right? So, tearing down the walls with engagement. So, how do you make your company indispensable? Well, there's lots of books out there that you can read. You always want to make sure that you are self-educating yourself, not only in terms of your products and services, but also you want to educate yourself from the inside out, right? Because that's how we grow. So, one of my favorite quotes is by Earl Nightingale, and he says, "Our rewards in life will always be within exact proportion to our contribution of our services." And at the time that he said this or he wrote this, he was more so directing it to those that were looking for a career working in a job, right? But this quote is so true for us in our business because, now more than ever in 2014, going into 2015, there's a lot of small business owners out there. There's a lot of direct sales reps out there. People are really starting to see the benefit in creating ownership over your life. And when I say that, I mean that you can go work a job. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing anybody that's worked a job. I've worked several of them. I've been working since my first job was holding up a sign, dressed in a sombrero, and I was basically, it was for a Mexican restaurant, and I held up a sign by the street that said free beer with your dinner between such and such hours. I'll never forget it. The sombrero was my favorite part of the costume because I was able to kind of hold it over my head so that I could just look like Speedy Gonzalez and no one would know that it was me, Stephanie. So, I got that first job. I think I was actually 12. It was my mom's best friend's restaurant, and I worked there over the summer, raising money so that I could buy what I wanted for that new school year. So, I've had plenty of jobs. I've done everything from receptionist to construction worker, you name it. I've probably done it. So, it's not to bash anyone that works a job, but let's face it, when you go into a job, you are creating someone else's dream. That's just the bottom line. So people are starting to realize that that's not really secure the way it probably was 60, 70 years ago. It's not secure because you never know. Companies have fallouts and they decide that they need to close the doors for whatever reason. Maybe it's mismanagement. Maybe, it's not enough marketing. And many times it's not enough marketing, quite honestly, because a lot of times there's great companies that have to close the doors and it's just because there's not enough people coming. And honestly, it's because not enough people know about you. Working with small businesses, it's opened up my eyes to just how many people that are out there that are in direct sales. Some of these direct sales companies I didn't even know offered the products that they do. And it's very powerful because if everyone just had that knowledge, you would know that there are other alternatives, and in many cases, better alternatives than some of the places that most of us go to on an everyday basis. The Walmart, Kmart, those things. Not saying they're bad. Not saying they're bad because you might catch me in a Walmart. I'm just saying if I could take my money and put that into a better product with a small business person, for a product that I could get there, I would rather give it to the small business because I know that small businesses are the backbone of our economy. I have seen the studies, I've seen the proof, I've seen the facts. So knowing that, I'll always support a small business, but there's still a lot of folks out there that they don't know. So that's all I'm saying. So The bottom line is our reward in life will always be within exact proportion to our contribution of our services. So Earl Nightingale kind of broke that down as saying, the money that you're paid will always be in direct ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to actually carry it out and do it, and the degree of difficulty involved in replacing you. So think about that for a minute. If you are offering a product or service and sometimes I don't know that that's what I need, maybe I don't know the problem, right? So first, you're out here educating me and making me see that this is what you need, Stephanie. So that's number one. Number two is, while you're doing that, there's still a bunch of people in the background that are holding up their signs saying, hey, look at me over here, I got that product, I got something similar, come and buy with me. How do I know who it is that should be the one to get my hard-earned money, right? So this is where you come in, right? So again, write that down. Our rewards in life will always be within exact proportion to our contribution of our services. All right, keep that in mind. So, to become indispensable, you must bring value. With so much competition in the marketplace, this is going to be the key factor that sets you apart from the rest. So now that you're engaging, right? You're engaging your audience. They're coming to your sites. Maybe you're engaging them on Facebook. So now that they're kind of taking a look and saying, "Hey, look at this information." Now, how do you pique their interest to stay engaged? Well, there's many ways to pique interest, but the best way is going to be offering value, right? So know your products and services, know them inside and out. Make sure that because when people start to be interested in what you have, they're going to ask questions. And you have to understand that, especially in direct sales, when we go into it, it's kind of like, okay, people are asking questions. This could be a buying signal, right? It is a buying signal because they're interested. Do people always buy when they get their answers? Not necessarily. But take, for example, I see someone that has a product. There's a young lady that is friends with me through Facebook, and she has this t-shirt line that's church chicks, right? So I kind of been watching. I hadn't said anything to her, but I kind of been watching because she'll post different things. So I wanted to know, hey, do you have a site? Because I never see you post any site information. I just kind of see you post pictures and you can kind of inbox her to get it, but no site up, right? Well, the reason why I was asking is because I hadn't seen anything that necessarily made me want to buy at that moment. I hadn't seen a particular product, but I thought it was kind of cute. I like the logo. The concept is really cute. I just wanted to know, is there somewhere that I can kind of go to see what else do you have to offer? Now, she was very nice to share a lot of things with me, but the truth be told is, when I'm ready to buy, am I going to remember to go sift through those messages to see all the different things she sold me? More importantly, what if she sends me something through Messenger that I do actually like? Maybe I'm not ready to buy at that moment, right? But I see something I like and then I get all excited. I'm like, okay, when I get my check or when my money deposits, I'm going to get this item that I see that's really cute, and then I go back and it's sold out, right? So a website could be a great alternative because of the fact that you're easily able to show what is available, what's not available, okay? So that's a key thing. Not to mention, if there's other marketing techniques that are now implemented to stay abreast with me and keep up with me. She could also be informing me when things are selling out or when they're close to selling out, and that may be the trigger to say, okay, I want this product. She's now sending me information, letting me know that, hey, we're almost out of this particular product. If you want it, go ahead and come in and buy now. If you buy by midnight today, November 13, 14, I don't even know what day it is, but whatever day it is that she's sending it out, hey, if you buy it, you get a 10% discount, different stuff like that. And that is going to be something that's going to come up in another training later on that's going to be a little bit more in depth of what I'm referring to. Some of you may already know what I'm hinting at, but essentially, Having those things in place is going to, one, help you automate your business. Two, it's going to keep your audience in the know. And this is what we're talking about today, right? Piquing interest. So offering value. Know your product and services. When you think you know it all, study more. Always stay on top of it. I do affiliate for a particular product. And with that product, I can't tell you how many times that I've went through the training and went through the training and went through the training. And no matter how many times I go through the videos, with especially with David Wood, because he goes through stuff, his mind is awesome. He just spits out these things. There's always something else, right? So you may listen to something in audio, watch a video, read some information, and you're going to get some things that are going to give you an aha moment, right? And you come back to it again and you go through it again, and something else is going to give you an aha moment. Why? Because the puzzles are fitting together. Okay? And you're getting your bigger picture, and you're growing every time you're putting that information into your brain. So when you think you know it all, study more. Send out surveys to your clients, getting feedback. So this way you can know, from the horse's mouth, so to speak, what is it that your audience really likes. That's key. Don't be scared to ask. Ask them, did you like this? Did you not like it? And take the criticism. Don't take it negatively. Don't let it shut you down. Use that as a way to better what you're providing. Okay? So because you're providing value to your audience, they're going to engage more. It's going to pique their interest more. Take, for example, we have a pest control company that is on our directory, and we actually work with them. When you ask them a question about bugs, they can quickly break down that type of bug. They can ask you a few simple questions, and they can break it down to you, that type of bug, the most effective way to get rid of them. Not only do they have all of this information about this bug, but they provide services with a guarantee to completely eradicate a problem. Now, some of you are probably sitting there like, really, a bug? But what I'm saying to you is that, they take their company so seriously that they actually sit and study the habit of bugs. Why is that important? Well, because if I go to call Orkin or some other big name company, a lot of times, one, they may they may or may not know what they're talking about when they come out to service my house or the outside of my house, whatever the service I'm looking for. They may or may not know, because a company is going to give a set of materials, and they're going to say, this is your training, we want you to go through this. But at the end of the day, whether you're working for someone or not, you still have to treat it like your business, essentially, because for you to be good at what you do, you have to know what the heck you're talking about. You have to. So with this particular company, it's impressive, because not only do they provide a guarantee on top of it, but they also provide knowledge-based materials for people who are looking to do it themselves. Now, some might say, well, if I'm giving away all of this free stuff, where am I making the money at? But that is definitely a very incorrect way of thinking. If you're sharing information with your future and your current clients, you're building your brand recognition, you're becoming a leader in their eyes, and now they're looking for you as opposed to the other way around. And that's really important, because, who wants to be that salesman that's chasing everybody down with their shotgun like, hey, let me vomit all this information on you? No, you don't want to waste people's time, and you don't want them to waste your time. So you want to build yourself up in a way where your information is out there, you're sharing information, you're showcasing your knowledge, and as you're doing that, you're giving people information to go off of that's helping them. You're putting information in the marketplace that's actually solving their problems, and with that, they're going to continue to look for you, because now you're becoming an authoritative figure, okay? Now, a few weeks back, I went to talk with some vendors down at a local vendor market, which is in my area. Now, I wanted to go through each of the booths, and I wanted to see what were they offering. So, I wanted to get an idea of what were you offering, where was your business at, that type of thing. Well, the first thing was, no one was collecting my information except for one vendor. Okay, only a handful actually looked happy to actually be helping or talking to me. And there was one vendor that they actually shared the locations that they regularly go to. And, you obviously know that when you are having people that may or may not be interested in your products or services and you're somewhere, one, you want to be happy. You want to look like you're happy to help people because, I used to do training with a part time job before going into my business full time. And what I trained was for customer service. I was always just really, really good at that. And for me, I think it's because it was at a very young age, I quickly understood the dynamics of if there are no customers, there is no business. And if there are no businesses, there's no jobs, right? It's just simple. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Like, it's just simple to me, right? So, always with my trainees and my classes, I always used to let them know, like, you're going to have people that maybe are not the happiest. Maybe they're just very direct and blunt. Maybe you're sitting somewhere showcasing your business and people are just not really engaging with you, right? They're not really clicking with you. All right. You have to understand that that is a two-way process. So we're all grown ups, and you have to take the time to look at it and say, okay, is it perhaps something that I am exerting from myself? Is it something that I'm sending off? Maybe you didn't say anything that was rude. Maybe you're not saying anything that's rude. Maybe it's the way you're saying it. It could be one little thing that it rubs someone the wrong way. Now, you can choose to care or not to care. I'm not here on this particular training to teach you customer service, but I do always share with business owners that oftentimes I speak to many small business owners, and quite frankly, their attitudes are just not there. And it should be. You have your business. If you are exerting out unhappiness or you're unhappy about something, if that is coming off of you, that's what you're going to bring back in, right? That's just the way that it is. We have a burger joint down in it's not far from me, but it's in another city, and it's called BurgerFi, right? Now, the first time going there, loved the atmosphere, right? The manager came, he talked to us, you could see him actually engaging with people in the dining room. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Food was awesome, right? But I have to say that had his staff, as well as himself, had not been genuinely happy to be there that day, I think that the energies itself would have rolled off onto other people. I think it would have rolled off through the food. That's just my belief, whether you choose to believe or not to believe. I hate going to a restaurant and you have a waitress that's just right? It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, literally. The food won't taste as good. Your attitude is sour because you got this sour waitress. It's not cool. And I'm going to give you an example. There's another restaurant that my kid's grandmother, she's taken us to a couple of times. They have the best hot wings. When I tell you the best, I'm telling you these hot wings are off the chain. The first 2 times we went there, delicious, delicious. So delicious that that's all I want to order when I go there is the hot wings. She looks at me and she's like, why don't you order anything else? I just want the hot wings. So, one particular time we went and we had this waitress. She must have been new because I had never seen her in there before. She said she never seen her. And it's like her attitude was just, it's like when you ask her for something, it's like we don't do that, but I'll go ahead and do it for you. Why do you have to say that? you know just certain little things. We had, and what we were asking for was the usual things that we asked for when we went there the few times prior, and even for her the times that she's went without me. So it wasn't like we were just pulling something out of the hat. We were asking for something that we had actually, already have been privy to prior. And that's all she kept saying the whole time. Well, we don't normally do that, but I'll do it anyways. And it wasn't like a happy to do it. It was just kind of like if I really must. So just take that into consideration when you are dealing with your customers, your audience, right? So that was the first thing with the vendors. Some of them, they were just, weren't so happy to be there. Maybe it wasn't the turnout they were looking for. At the end of the day, if just know that what you're putting out is what you're bringing back. So, you know, be mindful of that as well. So, as a consumer, do you think that after speaking to all of those vendors, I'm going to remember locations and name? For the one vendor that told me the location she was at, sweet older lady, had some delicious fudge. Um, when she told me her business name, it wasn't, the website address. It wasn't even a website address. It was a name for her Facebook page. That was the first thing. You think I remember the name? I didn't. By the time I got to my car, I didn't remember the name. I asked her if she had a website. She didn't. She didn't want to get online. I remember that she told me she was out at different other vendor locations on other days, but I don't remember those days. I remember the beautiful golden tomatoes that I got from a couple that told me they never do business online, but I can't remember again the locations that they said they'd be at every week. The only business I remember that day was the pastry chef that sold me a delicious spinach and gruyere cheese croissant, right? But asked me where his shop is that he decided to share with me, but didn't share a flyer or anything with the address on it or even take my information to keep in touch. Yeah, I don't remember where his bakery is, and it's such a shame because I wouldn't mind having one of those croissants again. It was absolutely delicious. You know, things happen. Consumers lose flyers, right? They lose flyers, they forget company names, and eventually they'll end up buying from your competitor, not because they're better than you, but because you didn't position yourself properly. All right? Now, that's important. You have a choice to make as a business owner. You have to choose what is going to be most important. Where do I budget the money? What is going to be essential to put the money in? Too many times, often in others, I hear people say, well, I don't go online because I tried to do something online before and it didn't work out. Or I don't do any type of magazine ads because I tried that before and it just really doesn't do anything for me. The thing is, there isn't a science to whatever marketing you're doing, whatever it is, billboards, commercial ads, magazine ads, all of that. There's a science to it. There's time and effort that goes into each thing. That's why when you get out here and you talk to some of these business owners, they can tell you what is successful for them, and they can tell you what they've tried that didn't work. They can tell you, well, I did this before and it didn't work this way, so we changed it like this and now we do it this way, but we're still using the same method. It's that way. People are going to become an expertise in whatever area. Maybe for them, they happen to get lucky that first time around and it went gold and they just kind of stick with it. Nothing's wrong with that. But remember, you are growing a business. You want to grow. You want to expand, right? That's the idea. That is the whole idea behind creating a legacy, is to grow it, whether it's to leave it behind to your loved ones, whether it's the dream of being the top direct sales rep within your company, whether you sell these delicious confectionate cupcakes and you just want to let the world know how great your baking skills are and how beautifully designed that your cupcakes are. These are important, right? And you have information to share, but you have to position yourself in a way to share it, right? Not everyone is on Craigslist. Not everyone is on Facebook, believe it or not. Even though a lot of people are on Facebook, everybody isn't on there, and there's a lot of people that are on there that's just not paying attention. Not everyone's looking at billboards. Not everyone's watching TV. So you want to try to be as many places as possible. That's the idea. So going back to my story about the vendors, there was one company that I do remember. It was the one and only vendor that took down my email and continues to share information with me every few days. This vendor had not only the most delicious dressing, ever pricey, but delicious. The sad part is, if they never took my information, I wouldn't have been able to tell you the name of their company to this day. I wouldn't have been able to tell you the name of their company by the time I got to the car, because when I got to the car, I was telling telling my best friend about them and we were having a conversation and I couldn't remember their name. Okay? But they send me information every week and they engage me, they share information with me. I have a training coming up later, um, that will it'll be about this very information I'm talking about, but it will have an exact example of what it is that they send me. But they have great information. They share information of where they're going to be at every week because they do vendor markets. They have information for upcoming projects. They have information. They send me delicious recipes. It's getting ready to be Thanksgiving time. We're up and approaching it. So what do you think is coming to me? Since he's a chef, he's sending me recipes for all types of different recipes that are common during right now. So it's very, not only does he send the recipes, but techniques and different tricks in the kitchen. So that's important. That's important to me because I'm a person that I love to cook. I love to cook. So when I start thinking about, okay, let me see how he makes his broth. Maybe it's different from how I do mine. Maybe he can give me some tips. Or I remember reading this in his newsletter and that was a great tip. Let me try it out and see how it works for me. See, that is all things that for me, I'm his target. I'm his audience. I'm going to love it, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the valuable information that you want to share. What problems are you solving for your audience? For some people, it may be a matter of, I really want to cook a Thanksgiving dinner, but I don't have time to sit and try to learn it. I just want somebody's recipe and directions so I can make sure it's perfect. It could be an issue of that. It could be an issue of, last year I did my own recipes and I think we're just tired of it and I just really want something new. Let me try out his, right? So think about those problems when you're thinking about the information you're sharing. I can't stress that enough, and I'm probably going to pound it in your head by the time this training is done, but trust me, it'll be a valuable information that it exploded my life and my business, and I'm sure it will do the same for you. So here's some things you want to keep in mind when you are sharing information. The first thing is be genuine. No one can copy you because you are who you are, and there's a whole market of people that will flock to you. In fact, they're looking for you right now, so you need to position yourself out there. I have some quotes here, and they all kind of remain true. I'm the quote lady. I love quotes. There's nothing better than to sum up an idea, a concept, a fact within just a few words of a sentence. So as you can see, be genuine, abandon your ego, inspire others to achieve, be 100% authentic. Don't wait for the world to recognize your greatness. Live it and let the world catch up to you. Tell your own story. Take time to be. Surprise yourself each day. Let some cookies crumble. Look at the clouds. Get good at mistakes. Laugh through your tears and cry until you're done. Be genuine. To be a warrior is to learn to be genuine in every moment of your life. And I can't tell you how important that is. And as you are marketing online, you'll understand why. You'll notice that people will flock to you when you put in your content who you are. When you try to take someone else's ideas, it won't work as much for you. Keep that in mind. All right, so the other thing is bring the value, right? People look at certain things when it comes to business and they're like, if if I have a problem, one too many problems, I'm going to quit doing this. If I'm going to try this out. And if it works, great, I'm going to stay in it. If it doesn't, I have plan B to fall back on. Let me tell you that problems, as you can see here, are opportunity in disguise, right? The problems are stepping stones to get you where you need to be. So, understand that you need to have a definiteness and purpose of what you do. Yes, I got that from Napoleon Hill. I love Napoleon Hill. I love to listen to his stuff, read his books, and I think that you probably should as well because there's information on there. It's a success blueprint, not only for character, but for your business. So remember that, bring value, okay? People have situations, they have problems, they have needs that they need to be um, attentive to. They're looking for someone to give them the solutions to their problems. So make sure that you're bringing value to people's lives by solving their problems, right? So we rise by lifting others, and that's very important. In your business, you will come to realize that the more that you put back out into the marketplace is the more that's going to come back into your business. I can't stress that enough. So solve people's problems, share information that can help people. You don't have to give away the whole kitchen with the sink. You really just need to help your audience get at least a head start, and they'll be thankful and impressed with you. And this is really how you establish authority. I said that earlier, right? This is how you establish it, because now you become that person, that authoritative figure that they're going to seek out when they have an issue, when they have a problem. Okay? Be in position to win, right? That's why we're talking about marketing your business online. Make sure you're in position when your market is ready to buy. They spend time with you, getting to know you, reading your information, reading your newsletters that's coming to them every week, every day, depending on how you're sending it out. I speak to countless of local business owners that tell me time and time again they don't see a need in getting online. If you are one of these business owners, let me just share some data with you before you just lock yourself up and decide, yep, that's me, I don't want to do it, okay? Statista reported this year that there were 163.9 million smartphone users in the U.S. alone, with a projection forecast of 220 million by 2018. That's less than 4 years away. Okay? In addition, the other sources show that 91% of smartphone users are using their devices to check email and text message. So if you don't know where I'm going with this, let me just let you know that you need to be in position. Okay? Becoming an expert, as you can see down here by Brendan Burchard, another author, and he's a business coach that I follow. Becoming an expert is simply a matter of positioning and packaging who you are and what you know so that you can help the greatest number of people in your target audience. Okay? Write that down. Becoming an expert is just simply a matter of positioning and packaging who you are and what you know so that you can help the greatest number of people in your target audience. Very, very important. Positioning is what's key. We're not playing checkers, guys. We're playing chess. Remember that. So, what does this all mean? Well, based on the statistic numbers that I gave you, you should already know what it means, but here is some information from survey that was conducted by Dimensional Research that shows an overwhelming 90% of respondents who recalled reading online reviews claim that positive online reviews influenced their buying decisions, while 86% said buying decisions were influenced by negative online reviews. I am a consumer that I go to read reviews, okay? When I was young, I got my first car at 16. Not that far from where my parents had their house, there was a tire company down the road that I used to get my tires from, even throughout my early 20s. Well, a few months ago, I had some trouble with some tires, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to go to them because I hadn't needed to go to them in a while. And I just wasn't sure, do I still want to go to them? Are they run by the same people? I had some questions. Or was there someone closer to me that offered better deals? So I kind of went on to look for prices and to look for closer locations because I was riding on my donut. And needless to say that the company that I had been buying from for many years has some really bad reviews. People were buying used tires and the tires were blowing out on them within a week or two. That's bad. That's really bad. Especially me being a single mother. I don't want to be on the highway somewhere and my tires are blowing out on me. Are you kidding me? I don't. So that, based on those reviews, it made me decide to look for somewhere else. And what happened? I continued searching, and the place that I ended up going to was based on good reviews. This particular company, when I spoke to them, they are one that says, I don't want to do any business online. I tried to do a couple of things, it didn't work, right? It's not that it doesn't work online. It just means that what you're doing is not working and you need to tweak it a little bit. That's all it is. You need to tweak it. Maybe you need to do a different type of marketing online, because there's many different types of marketing. There's different marketing and advertisement offline. You can do flyers, you can do mailers, you can do billboards, you can do a magnet on your car. I mean, there's all kind of things that you can do. It's not necessarily one thing. And you know, what I found interesting is I let them know that, hey, based on a couple of reviews that people went and put up on Yelp, of all places, like, who really is, I'm going to Yelp, but it came through a Google search. And you don't want to do business online, but had it not been for those reviews, I would have never came to you. Never. And I've had to already go to them twice, and I had to refer someone to them. So you see, it is important to be online, and it is important to position yourself. I'm not saying don't do anything offline. I'm just saying that you should have more than one type of different marketing and advertising in your business plan, and you should be budgeting for that. That's what I'm saying. There are free methods, there are paid methods. That's an entirely different training. All right. So just to bring it back to what I was saying, it's just really important to, marketing online is definitely essential key. There should be a marketing online area within your business plan as well as other things. It's not necessarily you have to do one thing. I think multiple things in part is what keeps the engine chugging, right? Okay. So basically, um, to sum it all up, you want to engage your customers by sharing valuable information that solves their problems, and position yourself so when they're comfortable and they're ready to buy, you're there to help them, right? You want to be there. So that's key to all of this. So hopefully you have taken notes, you have gotten some valuable nuggets. You've gotten your notes written down, you're ready to go. It's giving you some ideas. If you're still in need of help, that's what we're here for. If you're still in need of help, then absolutely, you can definitely go to ICE support small Saturday registration.getresponsepages.com. And we have more in-depth training. There's more training that goes along with this that will also come along packaged with some additional exposure for your business. So I support small biz and magnetic lead solutions. Again, we've partnered. We have some in-depth trainings and tools to help you in your business. For a limited time, you can actually get access to the full training along with resources to help you on your way for as low as $20. So in addition to the training and resources, you would also be put into the Small Business Saturday campaign, which will provide some additional exposure for you as well. So if that's something that you're ready to lock arms with us, you want to get the full access to the full trainings. It's not just this one, but there's a whole setup of trainings that are involved to get you completely set up and ready to go for marketing online. Um, Lead generation, marketing online, putting together compelling offers. There's customer service stuff in there. There's just a bunch of great tidbits in there that are packaged together along with the I Support Small Biz Saturday campaign. So if you're ready to lock arms with us and get your business to the next level, get your business out there for the masses to see, then definitely go to I Support Small Saturday registration.getresponsepages.com, and there will be some more detailed information there for you so you can kind of see what's involved, what comes along with it. And there will be a link below. You can click on it. It'll take you right to the page. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my training. Thank you for turning off your distractions, taking notes, and keep your eye out because there will be more trainings to come. And you have a great day.